Why? What's up, my boys? It's Jab back with another Xenoverse 2 video. Yep, it's one of these types of videos again, and this is a big one. So we finally have the patch notes for the DLC 9 large update, and it is very interesting to say the least. I want to give a quick shout out to Demon Boy, Vamplosion, RDF, and anybody else that was involved in translating these patch notes, making the translations and setting it up on Google Docs. I want to give a big shout out to them. I will be providing the link to the patch notes down in the description below for you guys to check it out. Again, for them, I wouldn't even be making this video in the first place. You know what? I'm not even gonna waste time. Let's just get right into it, shall we? All right, starting off with page 1. Kamehameha, Bending Kamehameha have been buffed again. Super God Fist, slightly lower the damage. After a hit, the opponent can now vanish and use evasive boost while being sent flying. That's a really good one. Increased damage to Super Dragon Fist and can combo into other moves with both hits on the ground. That's a really good one because Super Dragon Fist is kind of a slept down move. Like I said, that God Fist one, that's a big one. I mean, it says slightly. I mean, we don't know how much weaker it is now, but any kind of nerf to God Fist is always, you know, much appreciated. I'm not complaining about that. And now we can actually vanish out of it instead of being in the infinite loop. So I like that. Kawaken Kamehameha did not need to be increased in damage, but it is what it is. And also number of hits. Riot Javelin decreased the amount of damage done when used near death. Tyrant Lancer increased the damage. Key Explosion increased damage. Increased damage to times 10 Kamehameha. Why? That move is already doing insane damage. I don't know why they had to buff it even more. People are literally going to be taking out an entire health bar with just that move alone. It's ridiculous. Shockwave increased damage and increased its hitbox. Increased damage to boost Kamehameha. So Kamehameha boost, yep. Increased damage to Power Pole. Made it easier to connect hits. Increased the speed at which the Power Pole extends. Giggity. Pause on that. Kamehameha increased damage. Honestly, the point of that. Okay, now this one. Both Evil Ray Strike and Evil Ray Strike that increased damage. Evil Ray Strike now increased damage to the opponent who can send flying. But Evil Ray Strike cause your enemy to break upon a hit. So we basically got another Dodoria headbutt where you can break somebody's stamina when you hit them. That might be a problem. Now it doesn't have the same range as a Dodoria headbutt, but it's easier to pull that move off. So that might actually be a problem. Masenko increased damage, Menacing Flare increased damage, Super Dragon Flight increased damage, change so the attack hits you can cancel with another move. You could already do that, so I don't understand that. Burst Rush increased damage, Key Blast Crit increased damage, and made unblockable. That's interesting. That is pretty interesting. You can't block that move now. Now, I mean, it's not, I won't say that's OP since that move doesn't do a lot of damage to begin with, but I know they're increasing it, but it's not going to be increased by much. But made unblockable, that might be interesting. Evil Eyes, regardless of when the move hits, even the damage done, made it so the opponent flies forward after a hit. Interesting. Increased damage to Paralyzed Beam. Turtle Style Last Resort. After a hit connects, shorten the time needed for opponents to be able to Z-Vanish, and it made it easier to connect. I like that. Pretty underrated move. Super Destructor Disc has been increased damage, increased speed again. Jumping Energy Wave increased damage to Wolf Ray Fist, and made it easier to connect. Fake Death, here's an interesting one. Increased damage, but decreased invincibility time. So it got buffed and nerfed at the same time. I mean, the damage doesn't really mean anything because it doesn't really do damage to begin with. But now you don't have the same amount of invincibility time as you did before, so it won't be abused as much. That's a really good one. Neo Wolflame Fist increased damage, decreased the damage to Dodon Ray. Made it easier to land. Doesn't drain ki when the move starts, so it's one of those skills that, like, when the move starts, it doesn't drain your ki into probably a little bit later on until the move actually like launches, the beam actually launches. And it made it so you can only step, boost dash, or step cancel when the move connects. So you can only step cancel out of Dodon Ray when you actually land it. That's a really good one considering the fact that Dodon Ray Super Soul made it to where you can just abuse it, and now they kind of nerfed it. So it won't be as much of a problem it's still going to be, you know, a very viable move, just not as viable as it was before. Tri-beam increased damage, it made it easier to connect, and made it so you can't cancel the move with the guard button. That's interesting. So you can no longer guard cancel with Tri-beam, which I don't understand why, you know, they would make that change, but it is what it is. Volleyball fist increased damage, double Sunday increased damage, yeah, blah blah blah, Saturday crash, yeah, they all got increased damage. Some of these don't even need to be increased damage. A lot of these skills don't, like flash strike didn't need to be increased, sledgehammer didn't need to be increased, but now it says make it so you don't have to charge all the way. You can make it so if you don't charge all the way, you can combo into the hits near the ground. Mighty explosive way got increased damage, don't know why. Earth Shining got a gun, increased damage and number of hits, don't know why. Recruit eraser gun increased damage, don't know why. Milky Can increased damage, Death Beam increased the amount of time needed for additional inputs. So yeah, they buffed it. Made it easier to connect, made it easier to hit opponents of different sizes, and made it so YouTubers had to credit Vamplosion and the Reddit for translations. Yeah, you already know. I'll give y'all credit. I'll put the link to this, I said, in the description. And just RDF having fun there. But yeah, so Death Beam gonna give you more abuse now. Death Cycle Bomb decreased key needed by 100, so now Death Cycle Bomb only needs 100 key to use, which is a really good change because that moved to 200 bars before, 200 key to use, and didn't really do any damage. So Death Slash increased damage, increased hit detection, and increased the amount of time the move stuns. It was actually a pretty good one because when you hit that move, when you hit an opponent with that move, they have really fast recovery time. So that one is really needed, so you can actually like follow up with combos after the move. Let's see what's this. Death Crasher has been increased, Death Wave has been increased, and improved tracking. Crazy Finger Shot adjusts the damage of each blast, and that's interesting. So we don't know if that means that could either be increasing the damage or decreasing the damage. We don't know for sure, but I hopefully the damage got decreased of each blast, every consecutive blast. Godbreaker increased damage. Don't know why it got increased damage, but anyways. Change the future. Slightly decreased the damage, but increased the hit detection. See, I don't understand. You buff Godbreaker when more people use that, but then decrease the damage on. Okay. Stunning Slash increased damage. Why? Decrease the charge time. Why? Made it easier so your opponent staggers one hit. That already happened, but now when the opponent is close in range, increased damage when fully charged and made it combo into other moves. See, they buffed the mess out of this move, and it's going to be even more abuse. I mean, people don't use it as much as they did back in the day, but now people are going to use it again because it's buff damage and decreased charge time. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be even easier to use. Decrease the damage and Burning Slash, increase its detection. Yeah, I don't know why they decreased the damage on that, but anyways. Double Buster, increased damage, additional inputs, increase the speed of blast, and improved tracking. That's a really good one. Slightly decrease the damage on Perfect Shot. Interesting. That's pretty interesting. People won't use that as much now. Innocence Bullet has been increased. Angry Hit increased. Zigzag Express increased. Hail Flash increased. L Bomber slightly decreased the damage, but when you reappear, made it easier, faster to lock on. So whenever you use an L Bomber, and in the moment you reappear, you can now lock on to your opponent faster. So they buffed it slightly and then nerfed it slightly. Magic Kamehameha increased, Pearl Flash increased, Galactic Donuts increased, Super Donut Volley increased, Pressure Sign slightly decreased the damage. I'm down for that one. Blaster Shell, why does it? That move does not need to be increased at all, but whatever, it is what it is. Guided Instructions Rage or Guided Instructions Anger increased the hit detection, made it easier to hit opponents of various size, so it's got buffed. And Freezing Beam for both Avatar and I guess Ice Shinron, they increased the speed of the beam, increased the time opponent is unable to move. Now this is interesting. This might be another Petrifying Spit, but again, that move kind of needed that buff because no one ran it because of how trash it was. So I think it really was needed. Ice Claw, not a bad move, increased the damage. I still kind of wish they changed the mechanics of it a little bit. Ice Field, increased damage and increased the time opponent is unable to move. That's going to be might be a problem, might be abusive. I mean, because you had those iframes when you used the move, and now you're frozen even longer. So yeah, this one might be a problem. Alright, now we're on page 2. So far, things don't look that bad. There's a couple of buffs that are kind of crazy, but so far things are looking, just, standard. Just buffing some skills and nerfing a couple skills that should have been nerfed a long time ago. But trust me, guys. Trust me. When we get to page 3 and 4, things are gonna get crazy. Y'all are not gonna believe what you're gonna see. Trust me. First attack increase, Dragon Thunder increased, improved detection, made it easy to connect. Energy shot increased, improved tracking, made it easy to connect when sent flying. Meteor blow made it so you cannot Z vanish, adjusted the timing to cancel the move after the first hit. Increased damage on meteor strike made it so you cannot Z vanish at the move, adjusted the timing to cancel out the move after the first hit. Made it easier to combo into when the move is connected on the ground. So both of these are now unvanishable. That's going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully it doesn't become too much of a problem. Meteor Crash adjusted the damage of each part of the move, increased the damage when using ki to prolong the move, and decreased the damage during elongated portion of the move. No change to overall damage if the move is completed all the way to the end. So the overall damage didn't change, they just adjusted some portions of the move to do different damages, but the overall damage is still the same. Energy wave combo damage has been increased, improved hit detection, made it easier to hit the enemy because it's flying, that's good. Increased damage to Gallic Beam Cannon, Infinite Explosion and Time Bomb. Prelude to Destruction, made it easier to connect with opponents of different sizes, increased damage to both Elite Beam and Elite Shooting made blast quicker, decreased the damage on Super God Shock Fast, made it so the opponent can use evasives and Z vanish out after sent flying. I like this one, I hate Super God Shock Flash. Burst Kamehameha increased damage again, why? Made it easier to hit with an additional input, wow, so you can now, it's easier to add that additional input, so yeah, it's even stronger now. Final Blow increased damage, Counter Burst, this is an interesting one, increased damage, made it so you can counter attack facing your opponents when you do not take a hit from the front, and made the blast portion faster to make the move harder to cancel with multiple blasts. Counter Burst was one of the worst counters in the game in my opinion, so it's nice that it's getting this added bonus. Tail Slicer increased the speed of the blast and improved tracking, increased speed of backstep, increased invincibility time. So this one might actually see the light of day now, because no one uses Tail Slicer, but now with this buff, people might actually start using it. Rocket to punch you! No, Rocket Punch increased damage, Rocket Attack increased damage, I-Beam and Tractor Ray all increased damage, Shadow Crusher increased damage, or Shadow Crusher increased damage, made it easy to connect. Super Explosive Wave got increased damage, don't know why? It's already a pretty strong move. Proof in the Tree Mark only takes 1 bar key now. That might be a little bit of a problem considering the fact that you have super armor when you use that trash. Increase damage on Sudden Storm. Why? I mean, it's already a pretty strong move as well. Raucous Claw damage increase cannot be banished out of anymore. I think that's a pretty good one because for one, the move was already pretty weak and plus it was pretty easy just to banish out of it that last hit. So I think that's an interesting little buff there. Dimension Hole make it so the move doesn't cost key on launch, so it's like Drain Field now. Darkness Eye Beam increased damage, needed that. Dynamic Finger increased damage, improved tracking, and the Japanese is wrong, so to make it easier to evade with boost dashes, and increased time for hit detection. So this move might actually be more of a problem now, unfortunately. The Doria Beam decreased key needed by 100. So I mean, I've never really understood why it took 200 key anyway, but that's a neat little buff right there. Fast Fish Crush increased the damage. Don't know why. I mean, I guess it wasn't the most powerful strike skill, but it is kind of annoying. Alright, Aura Slide. Decrease the damage before and after inputs and decrease invincibility time. So Aura Slide, even though it's still a little bit, because you can still do the infinite loop, but it's not doing damage anymore. You don't have those ridiculous iframes anymore. But still, you can still do the infinite with that trash. So that's still good. People are still going to be running it for sure. But it's not. It's just a shell of what it used to be now. Gallic Cannon increased. Here we go. Time Skip, Backbreaker, Jump Spike, all increased. This is a problem. I mean, at least it's not Skewer, because that one's already doing insane damage. But Jump Spike and Backbreaker are probably going to do the exact same damage as Skewer now. And yeah, Hit just got a buff. This is annoying. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a problem. Sudden Death Beam increase, Reverse Launcher increase, Trap Shooter decreased the key needed by 100. That's good. The move really didn't need to require 200 bar or 2 bars of key anyways. It's not that powerful. So that's a good buff right there. Psycho Barrier increase the immobile time after a hit. This is for Spirit Stab. Decrease the time needed for opponent to Z vanish if the move hits when the opponent is in mid attack. This might be a problem. Okay, so now when you hit somebody with Spirit Stab, they're now immobile for a longer period of time, and they have less time to Z-Vanish out when they're in mid-attack. See, that might be a problem. People might really abuse that shit now. Savage Strike, increase the damage after additional input, decrease damage when no additional input is used, made additional input hit easier to connect, when made so you can combo the move when move connects on the ground. That's a good. Hits made it so the opponent can Z-Vanish, use evasives when sent flying when no additional input is used. That's a pretty big one. So everyone knows, you know, Savage Strike being unadvantageable. Just do a simple knock away into a Savage Strike, and then you can try to use your evasive, you can try to use your stamina, you can get out of it. Well, now you can Z-Vanish out of it. Now you can now use your evasive to get out of it. So you can now counter this move. The first additional input, the first input does a little bit less damage now, but the secondary input does a lot more damage now. Or not, maybe not a lot more, but it does more damage, and it's easier to connect. So, you know, I think it's a good balance for Savage Strike. It was kind of a bit overpowered in that regard. Increased damage at Blades of Judgment, Super Ghost Boo attack, makes a Ghost charge if a certain amount of time passes after a move is used. Decrease key needed by 100. I mean, it's a trash move, so we need that buff. Okay, Evil Flame. Decrease damage, reduce key needed by 100. So they kind of balance this out. So it's doing less damage now, but it requires less key, so it balances it out. Brave Sword Slash, increased damage, slightly increased tracking, made it easier to connect, increase the speed of the beam to make it harder to cancel with other beams. That is a really good one. I like that one because it needed that buff. Increase damage on rough range or power impact change so you don't flinch when the move hits fully charged. That's interesting. So basically, when you do the fully charged version of the move, you cannot flinch. You'll have super armor. That might be a little bit of a problem. We'll see about that. Confusion Blade made easier to hit. Change fight patterns of move after set. Increase no one really cares about that. Sneaky Strike, increased damage when no additional input is used. Decrease the time to be invisible, and movement speed is now slower when invisible. So they sort of buffed the damage a little bit, but then decreased its effectiveness since you're slow when you're invisible. Energy Minefield, increase the time opponent can't move when the move hits. I don't really care about that move again. Soaring Fist and Surge. Okay, let's see. This is Ultra Instinct Goku stuff. We will get back to Ultra Instinct Goku later, but for now, Soaring Fist increased damage, improved tracking when the used without charging. Surging Spirit made it so key charges at an increasing speed. Kamehameha increased damage. So basically all his skills got buffed, but like I said, we'll get back to Ultra Instinct Goku later on in this video. Gigantic Breaker, increased damage to Spirit Blaster. That was very much needed. Very much need that increase in damage. Super Kamehameha increased damage. Decrease the damage in Dragon Fist. 4 times Kamehameha increased damage. Okay, this one. This right here. Times 20 Kaioken Kamehameha made it so you cannot Z-Vanish out of certain hits. Now, I guess he fixed it because earlier, when he translated this earlier, it said you cannot Z-Vanish out of the move at all, nor could you use your evasive. I don't know if that could still very well be the case. Maybe he just mistranslated it, but still, the fact that you won't even be able to Z-Vanish out of certain hits will definitely be a problem. Like, that move is doing insane damage. You might have a Dragon Fist 2.0 right here. This is definitely going to be abused. This is definitely going to be a problem. And if you can't use your evasive, then yeah, you are fucked if you get hit by this move. Increased damage on Saiyan Spirit, Super Key Explosion, and Full Power Energy Wave. Super Spirit Bomb increased damage, made easier for all the hits to connect, improved tracking. Full Power Energy Blast Volley, increased damage, made easier to connect. Chain Structure this, increased damage, improved speed and tracking. Simple stuff right there. Spirit Ball, Neo Tri-Beam, Final Flash, Final Explosion, and Paralysis all got an increase in damage. Alright, now on to page 3. Now this is where things get dicey. Increased damage to Death Ball, Death Meteor, Last Emperor, Super Electric Strike, and Dead End Bullet. Shocking Death Ball got a decrease in damage. I'm not sure why. Shocking Death Ball is a pretty underused technique. Not a lot of people use it. Don't know why they decrease the damage on that, and it doesn't even do a lot of damage anyway, so that's interesting right there. Dual Destructive Disc increased damage, Dead End Rain increased damage, Perfect Kamehameha increased damage, Innocence Breath increased damage, Super Ghost Kamikaze attack improved damage and tracking, Final Kamehameha increased damage, don't know why, did not need that increase, Maiden Burst increased damage, 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha increased damage, didn't need that, Warp Kamehameha, Super Gallic Gun, increase in damage. Hell Flash, decreased damage from the flames from the ground. So Hell's Flash actually got decrease in damage. One-handed Kamehameha MK2 increased damage and decreased stamina needed to fire move when taking damage to only 100. So you only need 1 bar of stamina to use one-handed Kamehameha MK2 as you're getting hit by the attack, as opposed to 300 it was before. One-handed Kamehameha increased damage, decreased stamina needed to fire the move when tracking damage to 100. So, hold on. Yeah, it's the same thing. Decreased damage to Meteor Burst. That's a big one. Meteor Burst being one of the strongest Ki Blast ultimates in the game. It actually got nerfed. I don't think it got a huge nerf, but a nerf is still a nerf. Dimension Ray, Soul Punisher, increase in damage. Don't know why Soul Punisher got an increase in damage. Did not need that. It's already doing over a bar. Come on, man. Midoriya Launcher increase. Time Skip Molotov change so after a hit, the opponent can Z-Vanish and use their evasive when sent flying. I mean, that's not a big change, and it doesn't really make a huge difference, so nothing really crazy there. Super Black Kamehameha, they actually nerfed it. They actually decreased the damage. I think this is a good change. It needed that, considering the fact that you can't recover from it anymore. It definitely needed that damage nerf. Burning Strike, increased damage. Additional inputs don't change the damage of the move. So basically, because you could do the additional input where you can go behind them and kick them. So they're both going to do the same amount of damage, because before the back version did more damage, but now they do the same. Sword of Hope, after the 3-hit slash, you can use the piercing stop, or the piercing stop. After the spin slash, you can use the 3-hit slash and the final slash. So basically, what that means is it's a lot easier to use the sword. You can actually do some crazy. You can actually, link up these different moves together now. Secret Poison increase, Spirit Impulse Slash increased. Made it easy to connect with the blast. Needed that. It was super underpowered before, now it's actually really good. Increased stamina reduction on instant severance. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting right there. Increased damage to Super Black, Kamehameha Rose, Divine Lasso, Great, and Grand Smasher, but they decreased the damage on Holy Wrath. Interesting. That is pretty interesting. Evil Blast increased damage. Brave Sword Attack, now unblockable. Remote Serious Bomb, the second input does not use Ki. That's an interesting one. Godly Display, increased damage to Godly Display. Gigantic Burst, increased damage. Super Kamehameha for Gogeta. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta has been increased. Spirit Explosion. Okay, here's the nitty gritty. This is the change that's gonna change the way we play Xenoverse forever. Spirit Explosion, reduce stamina cost to 200. This evasive and all these other evasives coming up are only going to take 2 bars of stamina. That's absolutely insane. Turn retreat or hide to the turn. Made it so you appear in front of your opponent if you held forward. If you move the middle stick while using, it could adjust where you land. Interesting. But here we go. Spirit Slash, reduced to 200. Explosive Wave, Psycho Escape, improved in direction, unlocks on opponent. Made so you can escape without being locked on. Okay. Mock Dash, Final Pose, Energy Field. Only take 2 bars of stamina. Yep, they're actually doing this. Yeah. So these evasives are now going to be used over any other evasive because of the simple fact that they only take 2 bars of stamina. This is going to forever change the way we play Xenoverse 2. It's going to make, stamina conservation like not even that big of an issue anymore, so you can just use an evasive 5 times before running out of stamina. So yeah, this is real. Oh, but wait, there's more. Rolling Bullet, Insta Rise, Super Back Jump, Super Front Jump, Boo Boo Ball. Move freely with the right stick when moving. Okay. Victory can increase hit detection. I'm glad that doesn't take 2 bars. Force Shield, Maiden Burst, Dragon Burn, all taking 2 bars of stamina. What the hell were they thinking with this? This is absolutely retarded. Science Vanish made so you can't be locked on. Same with Warp. Hyper Movement. 2 bars of stamina. Fade Blast. 2 bars of stamina. Energy Dome. Increased hit detection. Additional inputs. Time Skip Tremor Pulse. Reduced cost to 2. Oh my god. Fake Blast especially is going to be the most abused freaking evasive now. I mean, it's already bad enough, right? It's already bad enough. Now it's only going to take 2? Yo, Dimps, what were y'all thinking with this? This is the one of the worst changes in this patch. Without a shadow of a doubt. This is terrible. The way we play Xenoverse 2 will forever be changed. This is absolutely just a monstrosity of a patch. I cannot believe this. I really cannot. So we're taking a slight break. Here are the buff charge key blasts. Basically, they made it to where the longer you charge the charge key blast, the longer the effect. For example, paralyzed key blast. The longer you charge it, the longer your opponent is frozen. So they're all been buffed. Let's just skip that real quick and let's get into. All right. Female Saiyan avatar adjusted the damage and no more attack combos, so that they're either making the damage higher, they're gonna decrease the damage. We'll have to wait and see. Frieza Race avatar turned golden, fixed glitch where some super attacks could not be used during boost dash. This for skills like focus flash. Previously, a bug made it impossible to use the skill while boost dashing in golden form. I did not know that. Well, I mean, because I personally don't main Frieza Races, so I don't know that. Okay, here we go. Again. This is going to forever change the way we play Xenoverse 2. Or Burst Dash. Decrease damage, okay. But no stamina cost to use. And uses stamina on additional input. Increase stun time after hit. Decrease stun time when used during a combo. Increase stun time when Burst Dash is blocked. So, Burst Dash. You know, when you hit square X, you know how you use stamina to quickly dash to your opponent and send them flying. That no longer takes stamina. So you know how the everyone knows the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku cheese, right? You go Kaioken, you have infinite stamina, people will just spam burst dash, burst dash, burst dash. Not everybody in the mother can do that now, with the cost of nothing. No health drain, no stamina loss. You can just spam that all day long. Good job, Dimps. What an amazing update this is, man. Great job. Guard. Decrease the time after using a guard so you can move quickly after guarding. Alright, so now people can guard spam more. Z Vanish. Oh my god. Made so you are invincible during a Z Vanish until it is complete. So this is what I'm guessing. So when you punch somebody and they Z Vanish and you predict that Z Vanish and do a back hit the moment they Z Vanish, no longer will you be able to, punish them, and no longer will you be able to actually connect that hit. They will have an invincibility frame because their Z Vanish animation hasn't completely finished, so therefore back hits are totally useless now. I just don't understand what they were thinking when adjusting and fixing this game. I don't know what they were thinking when making these changes. Absolutely retarded. Vanish Step. Here's another interesting one. It made it so a Vanish Step used in front of your opponent now that takes you behind them doesn't cost stamina. Okay, so you can now step Vanish all you want without risk of wasting stamina. What an amazing update this is, man. Absolutely amazing. This is wonderful. Xenoverse, the way we play it, any type of technicality gone now, thrown out the window. You can just, there's no type of stamina conservation anymore because you can literally do all of this with no stamina loss anymore. There's no cost anymore of losing stamina. You can use evasives that only take 2 bars of stamina. You can snap vanish to somebody and not use any stamina. You can aura burst without using stamina. Everybody is going to have stamina. This is so stupid, man. So stupid. Partner customization. Increase the stats of all partner customization characters. Okay. We did that. Skill explanation, no one really cares about that. Stamina drain balances, adjust the amount of stamina lost when guarding attacks. Either they increase the amount of stamina you lose, or they decrease the amount of stamina you lose. I wouldn't be surprised if they made this shit decrease. Cast character adjustments with the exception of quests, free battle, local battle training, network battles. All characters have been adjusted to be stronger. So, in every mode, except for quests, like when you're fighting when you're playing parallel quests and you're fighting NPCs, every character in the game is now stronger. Now, see, basically it cancels out because here's the thing: you got the god tier characters now that they're being hit. Bluku, Super Saiyan Gogeta, all been buffed, but at the same time, every other character has been buffed, so it cancels out. But still, everybody's now stronger. So yeah, I don't know. This update is whack, bro. I swear to God, this is one of the worst updates I've ever read so far. last but certainly not least, UI Goku changes. Now this is either going to piss people off or make people extremely happy. When dodging attacks, increase stamina considered by 100. So now when you auto dodges, it takes a full bar stamina. That may sound bad, but just wait. After dodging an attack, make it so you can counter with a normal attack. So that the instant you dodge, you can instantly counter attack somebody. Kind of OP. Change the Super Soul to activate at less than 50% health, which is actually a lot. That's a needed change. Okay, here we go. The big ones. Change stamina auto regen. Change to be the same as every other cast character. Change the amount of damage taken to be the same as every other cast character. Alright. So now, we all know UI Goku having shitty defense and shitty stamina recovery, but now it's being changed to be like every other character in the game. So, the way that people use him is now going to be changed. The way, because you had to use him differently because of, you know, his drawbacks. But now he's just like every other character with auto dodge, but it's taking a lot more stamina, obviously, to balance it out. Because if it didn't, it would be insanely OP. But thing is, though, if you're running out of stamina with him auto dodging, you could just go back to the ground and regain all your stamina back. So yeah, this is either gonna piss people off that hate UI Goku like me. So this kind of worries me. But then people who use UI Goku will be happy with this. Because, I mean, he had some pretty terrible defense. So now this might honestly put him at a top tier, god tier character now. This might put him up there with Blue Ku and Super Saiyan Goku just because of how much damage he can do and all that. So that's everything, dude. Oh my god, dude. I told y'all. I know this is a long video, but I told y'all, bro. This patch, I just cannot believe half of these changes. Like, some of these changes are really good, but like these changes to game mechanics are just, oh, man. I think it's safe to say that Xenoverse 2 will officially die when this update drops. That's gonna do it for me, man. If y'all made it this far in the video, thank you for listening to me rant and ramble on about this horrible ass patch. This update's gonna be fucking terrible. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Rest in peace, Xenoverse 2, and until next time, guys. Peace out.